Welcome to your supernatural breakthrough report. This is the Peace Dealer. I hope you get this report. I had emailed you to follow up to get your natal chart details, but you never responded to me, so I don't know if you got the email, or maybe the email you might have used probably had a typo in it or something like that. But it's cool. We're gonna try and get this out to you. Thankfully, I found a Cash App you sent me back in the day that had the sun, moon, and rising. You say you're Pisces rising, Leo moon, Gemini sun. You gave me only the 5th of June, 1995. So, I saw you ordered from Buffalo, and I just kind of guessed the time of birth and the place. So thankfully, if this isn't exact, you gave me your sun, moon, and rising, so I can still do this report. Based on the sun, moon, and rising, we can push forward. And then when you let me know what it truly is, I'll just update the chart. But thankfully, we won't have to do this again because, based on the sun, moon, and rising you gave me, I can still make my calculations. For example, this is going to, represent your ultimate legend status, because you have the ruler of the 12th, Uranus, next to or near the 12th. And this is one of the rarest type of ultimate legend status as a divine being. And you a reaper. I see you one of us, bruh. You a divine embodiment of integrity. So this recent Saturn return you're having is very significant. So congratulations in advance. But the North Node we're having here is unlocking your divine being and potential. All right. Of course, you've progressed your rising to pretty much 29 degrees Aries. It's going to be in Taurus coming in the next year. So congratulations on that too. You're becoming the natural king, natural royalty. But this is unlocking, of course, this level of divinity. And then coming into next year, the North Node will go into Aquarius. By March of next year, 2026, North Node is going to be exactly on your AC. And we're going to have that final eclipse on your AC. So last year to this year, next year is literally putting you in a position after unlocking this authentic value of now pretty much with Saturn highlighting and anchoring this integrity of being and the belief systems of everything you believe about yourself. Because it's not enough to just believe in yourself. You're being called to maintain integrity of that. By destiny, you're unlocking everyone you analyze how you hold space with. You're meant to really move forward with relative to how well you believe in yourself. And, this is this very interesting period of not only unfolding this, but now Jupiter has gone through your Gemini placements. Right now it's in Cancer for us Gemini suns. So this is expanded throughout 2024, your spirit and brain. All right. You've opposed and began to break through the 2019 Jupiter return, which expanded your legacy. So now this is expanding your home space. You could have moved during this period, or the mindset and ideology around your belief in yourself. Okay. So let's get that out the way. This is actually very relevant and hot right now. Uranus is going to be pushing forward. It's going to retrograde opposite Pluto. So the full moon we're going to have in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus on your Venus and then the sun on your Pluto. So, that being said, when we look at the Pluto dynamic, you see Mars has made it through the supernatural breakthrough point. Pluto is so close to your 12th house. What it's doing is it's awakening. You're one of the first of this Pluto Sag, because it retrograded out of Pluto Sag to go here in Scorpio. You're one of the first to kind of now awaken this supernatural claircognizant quality that's going to mark this unconscious competence you have your whole life. Now, this is really weird, because now to put Aquarius in the 12th is going to represent, of course, being misunderstood on a celestial supernatural level, being this embodiment of divinity. 12th house Aquarius is knowing without knowing. So you're unconscious to this quality of knowledge, because now this is unconsciously competent. And with Uranus here, it's going to have you channel stuff in alignment with how you communicate that will kind of allude to stuff maybe you weren't fully aware you knew, but then can analyze how it ties together. Especially seeing your moon, that looks like it might be at the end of Leo before it goes into Virgo. Also pretty interesting too, regardless of how close it is. We know you have the Leo moon. So, now the transits we're going to have as Pluto goes through your 12th. Pluto transiting the 12th is very difficult, because you may not always be aware of the quality that influences what you're unlocking and releasing. And it's going to really, throughout the next 20 years, awaken extremely and bring to the surface unconscious habits right? And maybe beliefs that may hold you back if you're stubbornly holding on to knowledge that unconsciously, right? Beliefs that influence the knowledge you have, or knowledge that influences these beliefs, so that the Leo 6th house, where your moon is, takes this unconscious facet and really influences, relative to this belief in self, how creatively you form behavioral patterns, which are socially influenced, like my Taurus rising with the Libra 6th house. So this, of course, now, as we talk about the breakthrough arc, namely, for the next 20 years, every late January, like January 20th to about February, as we move forward, we're going to conjunct Pluto in your 12th house. Okay. And as a late Aries rising coming into Taurus rising, this is eventually going to become your progressed 10th house. So it's going to be unlocking the transcendence of, at current, where your career is starting to transcend to, this progressed sense of your legacy. But regardless of the natal sense, we're going to late January, February activate to your 12th. And then every late July, once we start to oppose, hence this is what the supernatural breakthrough arc is for. This is going to it's going to integrate in Taurus, which is your progressed first house, but also as a Pisces rising, your natal third house, which is going to integrate the values which will influence your mindset around this progressed identity and how you are embodying this value. But then it's going to break through now the comfort zone of your lifestyle. How are you taking these awakened facets of hidden knowledge within you that you may not have necessarily always been like conscious of, but still incorporate? And how does that begin to supernaturally break through your lifestyle? How do you begin to perform elements of these behaviors as you're releasing, of course, like advanced quality of habits you no longer need as you're stepping into greater beliefs in yourself? But the 12th house is also supernatural quality of talents and skills. It is unconscious competence. It is, after we set our lifestyle, how do we create a devotional quality of such, which can now bring us to the upper limit of certain techniques we've mastered through the 6th. So, of course, you're going to activate the 12th. You're going to form techniques through the 6th in Leo. Then you're going to apply that through the 7th in Virgo every year. And that transformation with how it is, you push forward your Pisces rising and apply the supernatural quality of these techniques. It's going to transform your beliefs because you are seeing in real time how it is shaping and applying in your relationships. Then, of course, with the sun in Libra as it is now, as it trines your 12th, right? This is going to transform the application of how you relate with others and now draw necessary boundaries and transform your personality and what you believe about yourself, because you're applying 6 months worth of developing your personality every year after you activate this 12th house, like finesse. And then it's going to, of course, open up wealth, because we know Aries is your second house. And now how are you dealing with others socially? How are you balancing this? How are you, of course, checking the books on the accounting log? And who do you trust? Right? This is going to show you this, so that by the time we get to Scorpio, and this is where we complete the breakthrough for this period, as we can see, this is where you actually have your North Node. So this is going to make this a lot more intense every year, especially because it's going to have to of course, activate your natal and progress nodes square Pluto. So the supernatural breakthrough is Pluto opposite Leo. Then, of course, in your 7th, then your 8th. And then we complete this unlocking of your unconscious beliefs by completing the transformation of your philosophical wisdom. This is going to now, of course, activate what we are going to explore in this hidden unconscious supernatural Aquarian realm. Then we're going to begin to integrate Taurus season to now manifest the mindset and attitude which supports these unconscious habits. And then we're going to break through the actual habitual patterns that not only harvest this hidden house, but now support this attitude. And that's going to complete in the philosophical approach that takes into account what habits you formed and the attitude which will reflect this, hence completing what you've previously released. Okay, so if I'm exploring this knowledge as a divine being, that I'm supernatural in every way, and that maybe certain materialist, reductionist aspects of reality were never real, and now I'm starting to tangibly manifest quality that proves this, and now demonstrate this socially in how I am applying this insight in order to like form my more energy, and I'm realizing I have more fire in my routine. Now the first stage of this in Scorpio is going to transform certain aspects of my beliefs, because I'm coming into psychoanalytical wisdom that is showing me, oh wow, this was not just in my head. You know, certain aspects that you felt were delusional, you're going to realize there's more credence to, and you're going to understand what about this you can release that doesn't apply and what applies. So this first year is just the first breakthrough of this. And by the time we get to Scorpio Sagittarius, you're going to see what that is, so that once we do it more over the next few years, you already know what it is you're stepping through. So definitely looking forward to your feedback. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Especially, it's very difficult talking about the 12th house, but we know this is going to be perceptual. This is going to be a breakthrough as a Pisces rising that will impact your unconscious beliefs, your lifestyle, and your philosophy. And of course, as a Gemini sun, this is going to be the philosophical 9th house awareness of your unconscious beliefs, and then the attitude, 3rd house from your Gemini sun, about your lifestyle, and then how you're integrating this behavioral transformation of your philosophical approach. All right. You stay blessed as always, and until next time, peace.